You may have loved them as a child, but we bet you didn't know about the dark shadows behind them. Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to WatchMojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dark stories behind children's books. That means we're analyzing popular children's books that feature a twisted, discriminatory, or just plain heartbreaking backstory or inspiration, whether in the origins of the books themselves or in the lives of the authors. However, we'll be excluding fairy tales from this list because we have another list on that topic. All right, let's get to it.
We'll take no more nonsense. We'll take no more gup from you ukes who eat bread with the butter side up.
Number 10, the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling.
I read about it in Hogwarts, a history.
It's a series of fantasy novels that changed the landscape of books and filmmaking for all time. Chronicling the lives and adventures of the titular young wizard and his friends at Hogwarts, this best-selling book series became the basis for 8 crowd-pleasing films that broke records around the world. However, it may come as a surprise to many fans that some of the elements in Rowling's books were taken from her own real-life pains and struggles.
Terrible.
For instance, the very premise of Potter being an orphaned wizard was taken from the agony Rowling experienced from losing her mother to multiple sclerosis.
Tell me, Harry, would you like to see your mother and father again?
Number 9, Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie.
Mother, can anything harm us after the night lights are lit?
No, precious.
On the one hand, it's the story of the leader of the Lost Boys, an independent, mischievous young lad who never grows up. However, for being a story filled with fun and wonder that inspired a series of popular films, plays, and TV shows, its origins are significantly lacking in such happy details.
I want always to be a boy and have fun.
While also inspired by Barrie's friendship with the 5 boys of the Llewellyn Davies family, when author Barrie's brother David died at the age of 12, the Scottish author impersonated his dead sibling in order to get his depressed mother's attention, but to no avail. Barrie quickly grew up, while his brother David was forced to stay the same age in her mind. Sound familiar?
It seems to me that Peter's trying to grow up too fast.
Number 8, The Wind in the Willows, Kenneth Grahame.
Now I'll take you both back through the wildwood. You'll be perfectly safe with me.
Published in 1908, the novel follows the adventures of a mole, a rat, a toad, and a badger as they interact with each other and embark on several adventures.
See, I've got this yearning just to be here with nature. Don't you feel it too?
Fans of the novel may know that the premise behind the tales originated with bedtime stories that Grahame would come up with for his son Alistair. Fewer may know the real-life story's tragic ending, that Alistair would commit suicide at the age of 19 by lying on a set of railroad tracks. Broken-hearted, the Scottish author would never again write something that equaled the success of the children's classic.
Very sad.
Number 7, The BFG, Roald Dahl.
I think it comes at 3 in the morning when I'm the only one left awake. Like always. Like now.
Adapted from his 1975 short story, the acclaimed British author's children's novel features the adventures of a young girl named Sophie and her interactions with a big friendly giant called BFG. Probably the most beloved feature of the book is the BFG's nonsensical language that provides amusing twists to typical English words.
That is glammy. Goodbye, Snozcumber.
The inspiration for the language is a little less amusing, however, as it came from Dahl's observations of his wife Patricia, who suffered a stroke that damaged her brain and caused her to forget words and invent new ones. To boot, the children's book was dedicated to his daughter Olivia, who died at the age of 7 from measles.
I don't want to be saved. I want to save the other children before any more disappear.
Number 6, The Butter Battle Book, Dr. Seuss.
As you know, on this side of the wall, we are ukes. On the far other side of this wall live the Zooks.
From the same rhyming genius that wrote The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham came this 1984 book, although the story's background is much less entertaining than that of the other two. Written during the Cold War, it's a story of an escalating conflict between the Ukes and the Zooks, who disagree on how to eat bread, whether with the buttered side up or down.
And in every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down.
Seuss wrote the sobering story as a parable about the dangers of war, the destructive nature of nuclear weapons, and humankind's eventual demise if peace can't be achieved. Pretty heavy for a book containing the words tough-tufted, prickly snickberry switch.
You will see your old Grant put an end to them all. Put an end to all those zooks who live over the wall.
Number 5. Yertle the Turtle, Dr. Seuss.
If I could sit high, how much greater I'd be! What a king! I'd be ruler of all I could see.
Another from the Doctor. Part of a collection of 3 short stories published in 1958, it's gone on to be recognized as one of the best-selling children's books of all time. The story features a turtle who's king of the pond, but when he becomes discontent with the stone that serves as his throne, he decides to sit upon an ever-growing stack of unhappy, uncomfortable turtles.
I'm Yertle the Turtle. Oh, marvelous me! For I am the ruler of all that I see.
When his ambition causes him to demand that he rise above the moon, the bottom turtle burps, upsetting Yertle's balance and sending him plummeting back into the pond. After publication, the devoutly anti-fascist Seuss was very clear that Yertle represented Adolf Hitler and his tyrannical quest to subjugate other lands and peoples.
For Yertle, the king of all Salamasond, fell off his high throne and fell plunk in the pond.
Number 4. White Fang, Jack London. Adapted multiple times for television and film, this is the classic novel that introduced the world to one particularly lovable wolf dog. Published to immediate international acclaim and eventually translated into over 80 languages, readers follow the wild White Fang as he gradually becomes domesticated, against the backdrop of the Klondike Gold Rush.
All right, Wolf. See what you got.
Although a compelling adventure, aspects of the story cannot escape the racial prejudices of its famously complicated author, with lines like, quote, "As compared with the Indians he had known, they were to him another race of beings, a race of superior gods." London even once elaborated on his supremacist views explicitly in an essay entitled The Salt of the Earth.
But you're right. I shouldn't have done that.
Number 3. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Roald Dahl. Back to the dollhouse. What child didn't dream of accompanying young Charlie Bucket as he toured Willy Wonka's eccentric chocolate factory? The imaginative novel has been widely praised as one of the greatest young adult books of all time.
Oompa Loompas. Imported direct from Loompa Land.
However, allegations of racism have followed the book for a long time. The original print edition featured the Oompa Loompas as having African descent, which prompted the NAACP to raise concerns over depictions of slavery.
The whole place is nothing but thick jungles infested by the most dangerous beasts in the entire world.
Dahl's widow Felicity later claimed he was not racist, since his original vision for protagonist Charlie was to be a black child, and it was his agent that nixed the idea because he felt it wouldn't appeal to readers.
You're really weird.
Number 2. Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Helen Aberson Mayer.
When I see an elephant fly.
What could be dark about the heartwarming tale of a little elephant with oversized ears who becomes the star of the circus? Apparently, quite a bit.
Come on, Dumbo.
According to Mayer's son Andrew, the trials and bullying that Dumbo experiences in the story represented the struggles of his mother, who similarly had a difficult life. Others believe the story of Dumbo was based on the real-life circus elephant Jumbo, who rose to fame in the late 1800s. Rather than being a happy, carefree elephant, Jumbo suffered severe mistreatment as he watched his mother be killed and then spent a life in captivity where he was fed coins, doped with alcohol, and eventually died after getting hit by a train.
Wow, this is a disaster.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Love You Forever, Robert Munsch.
Love You Forever by Robert Munsch. Published by Firefly Books, printed in Mexico.
This tearjerker is widely acclaimed and is one of the best-selling children's books of all time. The premise is simple. It's the story of the love that a mother has for her baby boy as shown over time.
A mother held her new baby and very slowly rocked him back and forth.
Throughout his life, through thick and thin, she inevitably visits her son, cradles him in her arms, and sings a lullaby promising to love him forever.
I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby, you'll be.
However, the inspiration for the story came from a devastatingly emotional place for the author. It was a poem he would sing silently to himself after the deaths of his first 2 children, who were both stillborn.
I love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be.
So did you guys read and love any or all of these stories? And did you know about the dark stories behind them? For some reason, I read Yertle the Turtle a lot as a kid, and I already knew about the dark story behind it. I don't know why. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments, or come talk to me on my YouTube channel, or on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Braden. Also, please watch this other video.